456 up first for the second week in a row, and the Glendale crowd got to see an absolute clinic by Ken Roczen right away. It's a shame this kind of speed hasn't translated to the main event every week, because he's been superb in these heat races, this week winning by 8 seconds over Malcolm Stewart and Jet Lawrence. Vince Friese being a moving roadblock was another storyline in this heat. He made things as difficult as humanly possible for Lawrence, Chase Sexton. When the main event finally rolled around, it was time to see who was ready to take one more shot across the bow heading into the break. Progressive X-Star Suzuki's Ken Roczen fired out of the gates and controlled the field all the way through the first corner to grab the whole shot. Roczen's 2024 has been a mix of highs and lows with podium finishes at San Francisco and Detroit, but frustrating results at Anaheim 1 and San Diego mixed in. He looked like a man who was taking all his early frustrations of the season out on the Glendale track as he hammered out some impressive opening laps to open a small gap on the field. Roczen simply rode flawless for 20 minutes to lead all 20 laps of the main event and light the candles for his first win of 2024. After the early frustrations for Roczen, who arguably has been the fastest rider to start the year, this win looked like a massive weight lifted off his shoulders. Roczen has won a few times in Glendale now, including a dominating Triple Crown sweep a few years back that appeared to stamp him as a Glendale specialist. But he actually says it's not the case. What it has more to do with is Roczen's abilities now to turn bad days into good ones. In fact, in that aspect, he's probably a better racer than he was a half dozen years ago. In those days, his abilities made him unstoppable when things were good, but things got frustrating outside of that zone. Unfortunately, Kenny has been testing this newfound patience a little too much this year, which bad starts and untimely crashes costing him a lot of points in the early going. Now it's flipping for him. Consider that in San Diego, he crashed while leading with Aaron Plessinger right behind him. In Glendale, Plessinger was right behind again, but this time he was one who crashed, and that gifted Roczen a sizable lead. But even those first turn crashes or bad starts don't bother him like bad races in the past. He shone with an outstanding performance and secured his first win of the season. He is the 5th rider to score a victory in the 17-round 2024 Monsterenergy Supercross season. It was Roczen's 3rd triumph at State Farm Stadium, and the 55,627 fans enthusiastically celebrated the popular Suzuki rider. Roczen won in Glendale in 2016 and 4 years later in the 2020 Triple Crown race. The fact that a 4-year pattern could be emerging with this win did not go unnoticed. Roczen had strategically managed the race throughout. Instead of paying attention to the time, he concentrated on completing lap after lap on the increasingly slippery track. According to him, only a few changes were needed to the Suzuki, which had a positive effect and enabled him to win. Happy Progressive X-Star. Suzuki Ken Roczen, filled with gratitude, expresses that he treasures each victory deeply at this juncture in his career. The Suzuki rider's dominant performance at Glendale, where he led from start to finish, brought him within 15 points of the championship lead.